Hey everybody, I've got a back injury, a lower back injury, and I've got an ice pack on my spine. So I'm kind of like hunched over right now. And you know, if it seems like I'm not 100%, it's because I'm not. It hurts like hell. Athletes aren't the only ones that get hurt, unfortunately. Greetings and welcome to another edition of The Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Lyle here with another edition of WNBA Weekly. Here is what happened this week in the association. On Tuesday, Danielle Robinson continues to be a driving force for the Stars as she led the way with 12 points and 7 assists. And Shenise Johnson came off the bench for a team-high 16 points. The game was close most of the way, but at the end of the third, the Lynx took control and never looked back. Lindsey Whalen led the way with 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. Maya Moore was 1 rebound short of a double-double with 19 points, 9 rebounds, as the Minnesota Lynx defeat the San Antonio Silver Stars 87-72. And then on Wednesday, you had the Fever. They gave a great effort and made all the hustle plays, but they struggled offensively as Tamika Catchings and Shavonte Zellous combined to go 8 of 30 from the field as the team as a whole shot 34%. They were taking good shots, but they just kept rolling off the rim. I mean, this was just bad luck. They just weren't falling. Tina Charles had another double-double with 10 rebounds and a season-high 30 points, and also added 3 assists and 3 blocks as the defending champions remain at the bottom of the conference, with the Connecticut Sun winning 73-61. In case you missed my last announcement, I am going to do the fan awards this year for the WNBA season, and I'm here to announce to you that the week of the All-Star game, I'll be giving mid-season power rankings as well as announcing early candidates for the fan awards. As of right now, I'm only guaranteeing that I'll do fan awards for MVP and Rookie of the Year, but I am considering doing Sixth Woman of the Year as well as the Defensive Player of the Year. So be sure to tune in for that because I love interacting with my fellow fans, and your input will definitely have an effect on my final choice. There are quite a few games to look forward to this coming week. We've got a full slate of games over the weekend. You know, none of them are being broadcast nationally, but as always with these games, you can check your local listings or watch them on live access. On Friday, you've got Connecticut at New York. Tina Charles leads the Sun into New York to try to even the season records between them and the Liberty. This game begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my preview is that Cappie Pondexter is a great player, but the loss of Essence Carson will affect them. I still see them winning just because, you know, despite Charles playing out of her mind, she's really not getting that much help from her supporting cast. And then next we have Seattle at Atlanta. The short-handed Storm travel to Atlanta to take on Angel McCoughtry and the Dream, who are tied for the best record in the league. This game begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My preview is that going into the season, I fully expected the Storm to finish the season at the bottom of the league. They are currently 4th in the West, which is a playoff spot. But McCoughtry has the Dream tied for the best record in the entire league, so it's hard for me to expect anything less than total domination by the Dream. Next, you've got Minnesota at Tulsa. Diggins and Glory try to defend their court against Whalen and Moore as the Lynx come into town with the best record in the West. And this game begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My preview for this game is that Minnesota has too many weapons, and as they just proved on Tuesday, any one of them can step up and lead the charge on any given night. Tulsa doesn't look like they have what it takes to shut them down. Next, you've got Los Angeles at Phoenix. 2 future Hall of Famers and current MVP candidates will face off as Candace Parker leads the Sparks into Phoenix to face Diana Taurasi and the Mercury. This game begins at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My preview is that Diana looks like she's back after she had a slow start. If she continues playing like this and Griner returns from the injury, then the Mercury will be as unstoppable as I predicted in the offseason. And that leads me to Saturday. There is only one game being played, San Antonio at Los Angeles. On the second night of a double-double, the Sparks look to defend their home court against the team that handed them their first and, as of recording this video, only loss of the season. This game begins at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My preview is that despite losing their biggest names, other players have stepped up and the Stars are finding ways to win. and I have trouble picking teams who travel after a game the night before. However, they are in Los Angeles. They do have Candace Parker, and I have no problem picking a team that has Candace Parker on their roster. On Sunday, you've got Indiana at Washington. The Fever head into Washington looking to escape the basement as Ivory Latta hopes to continue her MVP campaign and lead the Mystics to another win. This game begins at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and my preview is that I wish I had an answer for what happened with Indiana. Some injuries to key players, a few bad breaks. Meanwhile, the off-season acquisitions are paying dividends for the Mystics. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I have no idea what the fuck will happen in this game. Then you have Chicago at Atlanta, the clash of the Titans, as the two teams who are currently tied for the best record in the league face off for the first time this season. This game begins at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My preview is that I'm eagerly waiting in anticipation of this game. Ed and McCautry have both given MVP performances in leading their team to top records, and this should be the most exciting contest we've seen all season. I personally feel like the Sky are a better team when it comes to defense and rebounding, and I have trouble picking against them. Next, you've got Phoenix at Tulsa. Two of the top 3 picks are being featured as Griner and the Mercury head into Tulsa looking for a win against Diggins and the Shock. This game begins at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The truth is that other than a chance to see Diggins and Griner in action, this game doesn't hold much interest to me because if Taurasi and Bonner play up to their levels, then I have no problem calling this a blowout in the Mercury's favor. Finally, you have Seattle at Connecticut. As of recording this video, these teams are both under 500 and looking to get a winning record. This game begins at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and my preview is that the Storm have played better than I thought this year, and the Sun have performed so much worse. Both teams have suffered through injuries and are currently out of the playoff picture. However, the Sun still have at least one superstar in Tina Charles, and I just have too much trouble going against her. That's it for now. Tune in on Monday for an all-new edition of WNBA Weekly, and until then, I'm your host, Nathan Lyle. This has been The Fan Perspective. I hope you have a great weekend.